Hi, my name is Josephine, and I will be presenting on the Gateway Academy business model. A brief introduction of this project. About 8 years ago, in the World Bank, we carried out a research to find out whether training is taking place at financial service providers in sub-Saharan Africa. And the result of this was that when you look at senior level management, this is the CEO and other top directors, there was a budget specifically for this level of managers, but there was minimal or zero budget that was set aside for entry and middle level staff members. And the reasons for this were two main reasons. One is the cost. So you look at a big MFI in East Africa that employs about six new staff members per branch, and it has over 100 branches. That is 600 staff members every year. It becomes too costly for them to provide training for these staff members. And number two was the quality, that the university students that were getting into the industry lacked the financial inclusion or MFI training that is needed for this particular market. So what happened is that MasterCard approached CGAP, and CGAP is the consultative group to assist the poor, which is a think tank that sits in the World Bank. So MasterCard approached CGAP and provided funding to start the project, which is the Gateway Academy, to see that if we can provide an online capacity project or e-learning platform that would be able to solve the cost challenge and the quality, because quality means that we would have trainers from all over the world uploading their content, which is relevant to this particular industry. So the Gateway Academy actually sits on three concepts. One is the online learning hub, whereby we seek to provide this e-learning platform whereby training service providers can upload content, financial service providers can send their staff members to this platform to gain knowledge, to gain skills that will be able to make them more productive in what they do. A point to note here is that we are interested with financial service providers that deal with financial inclusion. So a huge corporate bank is actually not in our domain. What we are looking at is MFIs or big banks that actually lend to small and micro enterprises that lend to the poor in this particular industries. So the goal of this project was to provide this e-learning platform, and the project is funded by MasterCard for the next 5 to 7 years. After 7 years, there will be a spin-off whereby the platform is expected to be self-sustaining. Where the platform sits, we don't know at this particular moment, but we're thinking of starting a new organization which will have its own employees, its own staff, its own strategy, its own vision, and will be able to provide training in sub-Saharan Africa and even into the long run into other regions in the world. So what we seek to provide again is a marketplace whereby any training service provider can upload the content, but subject to some quality process or quality standards that we have put in place. And therefore, when we have this marketplace, you'll have suppliers of content who can supply their content, and you'll have demand for content from the from the financial service providers who would be able to pay for this content. And of course, the challenge here is sustainability. But we believe that, given that the size of this market, it will be able to be sustainable. And the new organization or the new investor who would take up this platform will find this business, profitable. So in terms of the business model, our projection is that in 2022, that is 5 years from now, the quantity of staff members who would be able to take e-learning courses from the platform will be about 250,000. So our focus countries to begin with are Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, and Ghana. But we have had interest from other countries, and why we had this initial focus countries is because the donor, which is MasterCard, prescribed that we focus first in these countries, and then we'll take the learnings to the rest of Africa. And also, we started with the phone countries, which is the English-speaking countries. But going forward, we will also provide courses for the French-speaking countries. So the projection is that we'll have 250,000 staff members on this platform in 2022, and our projections is that 70% of this will be entry-level staff members, and 20% will be middle-level staff members. So in this project, we do not concentrate on senior level management because, as I explained before, there's a budget for this, and there's training that is predetermined for just senior level staff members in this institution. So, according to our assumption, therefore, that in 2022 you'll have over 168,000 entry-level staff members taking this course, and 60% staff members of this financial service, 60,000 staff members of these FSPs who will be middle-level staff members who will be taking course in this platform. Our assumption so far, right now, we are looking at a price point of $600 for middle-level staff members and $100 for entry-level staff members. So these prices are actually prices that we have observed for similar courses in the developed market. So we know that the assumption might be too high for such a market, but we are now in the process of testing this price point. We also believe that the cost structure for a TSP or a training service provider would be about 30% of this cost to develop the course. But we know that so the profit that we project from this will be about $10 million in 2022. So the platform is going to be profitable because there's a need for training that is cost efficient and also or less expensive, and is also of quality. And the logic of the business is that if we can attract a lot of training service providers to upload relevant content, then we will be able to attract more staff members, and therefore if more financial service staff members are attracted, more training service providers will see the profitability of this platform, and therefore add more of their content into this platform. So I hope that this presentation has been useful for you as an investor who would like to invest in the new organization, and we look forward to you giving us an opportunity to explain our model even further going forward. Thank you.